Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Tim. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thought streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for Training Day, the 2001 film that starred Ethan Hawke, Denzel Washington, and a lot of familiar people pop up in this. Scott Glenn, who was in Backdraft and Firestorm, for those who remember that, a lot of other movies. The Challenge is a good one for back to the day. Snoop Dogg makes an appearance in this. Dr. Dre, Macy Gray, Cliff Curtis, who... character actor I don't mind. He was in Collateral Damage as the main villain. He was in Live Free or Die Hard. Tom Berenger has an appearance in this. Was it Harris Yulin? The guy who's the judge in Ghostbusters 2, he has an appearance in this. So a lot of familiar people, but it's Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington. Now, I can't remember who it was that I heard that at first there was talks of him doing the film. Maybe it was Samuel Jackson. I can't remember. But I'm glad Denzel got it. I mean, number one, this helped him get him another Oscar. And definitely one of his most memorable performances. I mean, how many people will reference, "Yo, King Kong ain't got nothing on me." I mean, that's a very famous scene. And I like Training Day. I do. I think it's a fairly good film, directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's a director I do enjoy, whether it be The Replacement Killers, very John Woo-like, with Chow Yun-fat and Amir Sorvino, or Tears of the Sun, which I know he did not get along with Bruce Willis on that film, but I do like Tears of the Sun. I think that's a good one. But Antoine Fuqua, not all of his movies, but I like a good chunk of his movies. But Training Day came out in 2001, did well at the box office. Again, got Denzel the Oscar. I think he had won one for Glory, I believe. Or was he nominated? I think he won. And then this one here. Now, the premise is very simple. Ethan Hawke, he's a cop. He wants to join the narcotics squad. And so after talking with his wife, he goes out and he meets Denzel, and it's supposed to be a training day. This one day shows him the ropes, shows him the streets, and throughout this day a lot of shit goes down. And Denzel just has this big dick energy. He just has this energy to him that I think he played very well. Samuel Jackson could have played it, but I think if Sam Jackson played it, it would have been what you expect from Sam. Whether it be maybe the bits of Pulp Fiction when he's Ezekiel, yelling. It's something you would expect. Denzel, on the other hand, you didn't really get, at least at this time, didn't get to see him play a whole lot of these type of roles. Because, okay, the Bone Collector, a little bit more subdued. I mean, most of the film he's in a bed because he can't move. Or, Virtuosity even. I mean, he's playing a villain. There wasn't a whole lot of times Denzel was playing a villain. Of course, later be like American Gangster, stuff of that nature. And again, he could be funny, but he could have that intensity to him as well that you don't dare want to cross him. And then, as you're going through the day, there's a lot of things you could interpret with the character. The way he interacts with Ethan Hawke. Does it really mean when he says, "I see a lot of you in me"? So does he truly see himself about how I used to be idealistic like this guy, I used to be more innocent than this guy, and hey, if this guy's with me, he could be a big player? Is there a part of him that kind of almost misses, regrets, being this way, but he knows it is what it is? And hey, if I could change this guy, almost like he's Emperor Palpatine for Darth Vader, like I could change this guy and turn him to the dark side, or so the effect. Granted, the fact he tries to do this on the first day, maybe the second, the third, the fifth, the seventh day, maybe stretch it out and kind of work. The fact it takes place. I mean, it takes place in one day because yeah, it's just more dramatic. Realistically, logically, you think, okay, if he wants to turn this guy to pretty much a dirty cop, like maybe a bit more gradual. You do one thing, okay, it's not so bad. You do one or two things another day, okay, maybe not so bad. Do third, I don't know. Well, you did those things, but yeah, it makes it more dramatic. And yeah, logically, it's like, Jesus Christ, you went from 0 to 100 to try to change this guy one day, and you thought it was going to work. But maybe it worked for him. Maybe in one day someone changed him. So there you go. But it's a movie. And Ethan Hawke, I thought did a good job as sort of the somewhat naive but not completely useless type of character. I thought he had that kind of youthful, almost optimism that worked for the character. And I don't mind Ethan Hawke. I mean, whether it be Explorers or Dead Poets Society, I don't mind him as an actor. And the interactions they had with each other is nicely intense. Whether it be when they're at the coffee shop and Ethan tells his story and he's excited about it, and then Denzel kind of looks at him and goes, all that time and that's the only fucking story you got? You tell me you were with this girl, you never fucked her? I got a wife. You got a dick, right? No, do you have a dick? Yes. Well, to the right and left of it are pockets, and either one of them has money, so go pay the bill. So yeah, I thought that the writing, I think it's David Ayer who wrote it. What do you mean you think? Because I'm bad with names. Because I watch a lot of movies and then I do reviews, so a lot of movies get kind of smushed in there. But, which of course David Ayer has gone to direct stuff. Street Teens, which I like, among other movies. But you go through the day where there's these college kids and they stop them and here's some drugs and you should smoke it. No, Ethan was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then Denzel pulls a gun. You refuse like that out in the real world, you could get killed. Go ahead and leave. Go back to your what the hell you were doing. No, I smoked it. And then later on finds out it's PCP. But then you find out Denzel wanted to do that for a reason. Going to see Scott Glenn, who Denzel knew for a while. On the day these events happen, Ethan Hawke saves his girl from getting abused and, well, pretty much R to the A to the PED. Now, one thing that's a bit weird is that they say she's 14 years old when it's clearly not. It's clearly, I think in real life she was 22 years old. I'm like, yeah, it's clearly a 20-year-old. But they say she's 14. I know in the movie they say she's 14. I'm like, she's not 14. Like, she looks more 40 than 14. Well, whatever. But come on, she's not 4. Like, just say 17. Or just say in high school. Just say, like, to say 14 is a bit weird. I think, well, okay, am I sure? I swear to God they said she was 14. I'm like, no. And of course, again, and I think in real life she was 22, give or take. So I'm like, that was a bit weird. But anyway, he saves her, beats these two guys. And again, Denzel, the way he acts, where he's like, wow, bravo, good job. I knew you were a hero. Hey, this guy, yeah, you. He's got the two guns, and he's like doing this. It's like, didn't you just say suck my dick, bitch? Huh? Am I lying? You said that, right? Didn't you say suck my dick? And that's where you definitely see the kind of back and forth. Why are we letting them go? Well, they'll kill each other. What else do you want? Justice. It is justice. It's street justice. Well, it's still justice. And you see how each one has that different mindset. Which, I mean, a lot of films, I think, definitely. It's not something that's new. But you can definitely tell a lot of movies try to do the same thing Training Day did. Some better, some worse. But it's still nice when you have two actors and good dialogue. It goes at a good pace. It doesn't beat around the bush. That's why the one day thing I could live with, because it does keep the pacing frenetic enough. Yes, again, logically, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of ways he could have done it different, logical. But again, it's a film. It's a film at the end of the day. So you got Snoop Dogg, who's this guy in a wheelchair that they catch up to. Denzel makes him throw up, and he has crack, and they get information from him. There's this guy who they search his place. He's not there, but his woman, Macy Gray, the singer, is there with a fake search warrant. They meet a few people. They meet some of Denzel's guys. I think one of them is Dr. Dre. There's a few others I recognize through other movies and stuff. They also meet these officials that you tell they're a bit corrupt. I think one of them is the guy who's the judge in Ghostbusters 2. One of them is Tom Berenger. It's too bad they don't have a whole lot to do, but it's nice to see him in there, Always nice to see Tom Berenger in there. And yeah, I just wish he had more to do. There's one part I thought they could have done more with. There's a part where they go see Denzel's family, and there's his wife and the kid. And Ethan Hawke is there, and he's eating the food. He tries to say hi to the kid. Well, then it cuts, and when Denzel comes in, the boy is and Ethan Hawke, they're like sleeping next to each other like this. It feels like there's stuff cut out. Like there was stuff that Ethan Hawke was doing to bond with the kid, be nice with the kid. The kid wasn't sure. That, wow, this guy's a lot different from his dad. And I think I would like to have seen... Again, it seems like stuff was cut out. If not, then I think that was one of the little mistakes I feel with the movie is... I didn't nitpick, but sure. To show a little bit of what led to the kids sitting next to him and trusting him enough and them kind of sleeping like it was a father and son. Because I know Ethan Hawke's character, his wife is pregnant. It feels like there's a bit more of that should have been played into it. Like, again, this kid, again, him bonding with this kid because he knows he's going to be a dad soon and he's, trying to get in that mindset. And the kid, again, seeing him as a nicer person compared to his... that bonding I would like to have seen. So, again, whether there was stuff cut out or if not shot, then I think there should have been added material there. That's just the way I look at it. Because to go from the kids kind of just watching and then... it just seems a bit too abrupt, for me at least. Maybe it's a little nitpick. Well, eventually, shit hits the fan. Denzel gets with his guys. Spoiler alert for a film from 2001. They go back to Scott Glenn's place with Denzel, Ethan Hawke, and Denzel's guys. They find this money that Scott Glenn has been saving up. Denzel tells Ethan to shoot Scott Glenn, and he thinks he's joking, but then Denzel kills the guy. And Ethan Hawke's like, what? And then you find out that they're stealing this money, and they want to give Ethan Hawke a cut of it, and they go, well, if you try to tell someone, all these people are going to say that you shot him, and also, remember I gave you that PCP? You do a blood test, then they don't see that you got PCP, and they're not going to believe you, and then you don't be kicked off the force. Also, the reason Denzel needs the money is because something to do with these Russians. He owes them money. And I don't know if he's going to pay them or if he's going to use the money to... Well, he says he's going to leave and then come back later. So I don't know if he's going to pay him off, then leave and come back later, or he's going to leave until the Russian thing's taking off and then come back later, whatever the case. Or he's thinking of taking the money and leaving and never come back. I don't know, whatever the case. But again, you have this kind of thing with Denzel where the others are just, let's just kill Ethan Hawke. And Denzel's like, no, wait. Does he see something in Ethan Hawke? Again, I guess Denzel reminding him of himself. Or that he's got a bit of tenacity. He's got a bit more oomph. Again, maybe it's kind of he's seen himself. But then he could kind of tell that Ethan is not going to come to the dark side. But I like the dialogue, This shit's chess, it ain't checkers. Listen, I walk a higher path. I can give you keys to all the doors. I mean, you stick with me, your sky's the limit. But you get the idea that Ethan Hawke doesn't want to sell his soul, like Denzel sold his soul. And maybe Denzel is mad at him for it. Like, this guy, really, this guy's gonna say no? When I'm given this opportunity? Is there a part of him that wishes he said no? Maybe not. Maybe there isn't a part of him. But is there a tiny part of him? Am I looking too deep into this? Perhaps, but again, I think the actors do their jobs very well. Until ultimately, he sends them to this poker game. Cliff Curtis is there. Again, he was in The Villain and Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in a lot of other movies. You also have... I always forget his name. I think he was the guy in Alien Resurrection. Near the end, he's one of the guys that white chupacabra looking alien kills. He's been in a lot of other stuff. Anyway, there's three guys, and Ethan Hawke realizes they've been hired to kill Ethan. They try to kill him. Now, this is my biggest problem with the movie. My biggest problem with the film, other than the little nitpicks I mentioned, like the with Ethan Hawke and Denzel's kid. This big fucking coincidence that I'm like, only in a movie would this happen. This would not happen. I'm cynical, yes. I'm pessimistic, yes. That's why. But this piece of luck would never happen. Well, I wouldn't say never. 1 in 100 chances would happen. That he's ready to get killed. But Ethan Hawke had this wallet. It was the girl's wallet. And what's that? And you find out it's Cliff Curtis's cousin. And he calls... And she eventually tells this story and tells the truth. So the fact she didn't just tell a lie completely, that's another thing. I'm like, in real life, that girl would have just kept lying. No, nothing happened. What are you talking about? I'm telling you, nothing happened. I meant it. Nothing happened. I'll find out. No, I'm telling you, nothing happened, okay? That's what would happen in real life, and then Ethan Hawke would be dead. Or... of the thousands and thousands and millions, the one guy is his cousin, and the one girl he saved, it's like, it's such a big coincidence. I went, come on. Like, come on, movie. That's too big of a fucking coincidence. But you either go with it or you don't. I went with it, and I still enjoy the film. But I'm like, come on, dude. That's such a big fucking coincidence. How fucking convenient is that? So, hey, you say my cousin, I'm not going to tell you, hey, this wasn't personal, this was just business. Ethan Hawke understands that. Goes to confront Denzel. There's a bit of a shootout. He protects Denzel's kid. Which, hell, the kid likes him, I guess, more than his dad. That's why I wish we could have seen more of that bonding earlier in the film. Some bonding between Ethan and the kid. So when the kid doesn't know what to do, did not know what to do, and Ethan was like, "Come over here," and the kid listens to him, we understand why, because we saw more of the bonding between the two. It might, even if it might be thin, but at least it'd be something there instead of, really nothing that was there in the finished product. So there's a bit of a shootout, a bit of a chase. Denzel beats Ethan Hawke's ass. Ethan Hawke jumps on the car of Denzel, standoff, shoots Denzel in the ass. All the people come out. There's more of a standoff. Denzel says, "Shoot this guy." But you tell the neighborhood they're tired of Denzel's abuse. And they're like, "You do it yourself." And that's where you get the great speech by Denzel. "I don't burn this shit down. Team Con ain't got shit on me." So. And pretty much, he's got no power anymore. Ethan Hawke's got the money. You tell the neighborhood kind of either respects or appreciates what Ethan Hawke's doing, so they let him go. Denzel, he has no weapon anymore. He kind of limps away, tries to get away with his car, gets shot the fuck up by the Russians, killed. Ethan Hawke goes home, and then the movie's over. And yeah, while I mentioned there were nitpicks I meant, with wishing there was more between Ethan Hawke and Denzel's kid, the whole convenience, "Oh, the one girl I saved today happened to be this guy's cousin." How fucking convenient that is. There's even a bit where Denzel is shooting at bad guys, and he's shooting like this. Like, he has one gun like this, and one gun like this. It's like, I'm like, no cop would shoot that way. I know he's a crooked cop. I know he's supposed to be a badass. But he's shooting like a gun, one like this, and like, I'm sitting there going, I'll buy into it that he's cocky, and I deal with it. So it does, it's not a big bother, but it's one of those, you're not going to hit shit if you're shooting like this. Yes, the other is shooting like this. I mean, it's a movie at the end of the day, so I could deal with that. I did the convenient fucking Cliff Curtis's cousin. That was like what, but I know there was a TV show. It was the last thing Bill Paxton did. He was playing more of the Denzel type of character. It didn't get good reviews, but it lasted only one season because sadly Bill Paxton passed away because the doctors were dumb fucks, to be blunt and honest. Maybe be interesting one day to see that show for Bill Paxton. May he rest in peace. Like I said, it did do well at the box office. It is a fairly good film. I mentioned already. The acting by the two leads are really good. It's nice to see people from Snoop Dogg to Tom Berenger to all these people in there. And yeah, it did go at a good pace. The dialogue's fairly solid. It felt like Safe House kind of tried to do this type of movie. Not exactly, but Safe House is there, but not nearly as good as this. I think of that movie, though, because there's that song. I think it's a Kanye West song, but I do like the song. It's in the trailer. It's also at the end credits. To the teen. I can't remember the damn name of the song. That would have worked perfectly for the. I don't think that song was even a thing in 2001. By my man, in retrospect, that song at the end of Safe would work perfectly for this. So I'm gonna look soon enough if someone did a tribute to this with that song, just that would work perfectly with this. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't look up what the song is. But again, if you look up Safe House trailer, the song during it, or at the end credits of Safe House, you'll know the song. But that song would work perfectly with this movie. So much better movie, Training Day. So very, very good one. So thanks to Tim for the paid request. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Very solid movie. Wow, I know the guy who hates everything actually likes some movies. Yeah, I do. I'm picky with food and movies and other stuff. This is how I am. But this is a good one. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.